morning and welcome to Kantipur TV HD. You're watching Kantipur Yoga, and as a episode, as following from the other episode, coming into very specialized practice. As a episode, we will be doing side bending. Now the side bending asana, I will show you what it is. So in this episode, I'm going to show you I've completely not stretched at all for this asana specifically. So when I show you the asana, that's going to be me in my body without a warm-up. Now we're going to work together to reach the complete final position of the asana practice. This yoga asana practice is for you if you're looking forward to touch your hand to your toe, overhead bending and little side twisting. So we will do a few warm-up drills over here to warm up our legs and hamstrings and our hips to open up and allow us to do this asana practice in general. So whenever you're ready, you'll come up into a nice big open lotus first. Now since the asana, this is what the asana looks like, we'll take the right leg out and we'll take the left leg in. You want to sit onto one hip more than the other. Now you want to push your heel away from you and you want to curl your toe in towards your chest. Now the goal is to drop the hand in close. So you can see I'm already struggling to touch down, but eventually with the asana practice we'll be able to reach all the way in. So if you are somewhere here like I am, this is perfectly for you. Slowly here, and now the goal is going to be to take the left hand over the head and gently reach for the toe. Now this is me at my best right now. This is the maximum I can do. Now after this warm-up practice, you will expect this hand to touch the toe down. So the stretch will come all the way from this side of the back and all the way opening from your hips and leaning in down. So we'll do a warm-up to get into this toe touch pose. Whenever you're ready, come back in again to the starting where we were going to start. Come into a nice big lotus pose. You're gently going to come into the front first, lean all the way down, slowly back up. Inhale here, exhale down, inhale back up, exhale back down, just warming up the hips. You can also go in circles if you want, down, in, up into the front, the other way around, gently back up in to the other side also, back up in together. Now gently coming back up into a seated position. Whenever you're ready, left palm can come down to the floor. Take your right palm up to the ceiling and we will gently stretch in towards the side all the way. Breathe through. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now remember, since this is a flexibility based asana practice more than mobility, this is most of how far your muscles can stretch forward to be able to hold your toes. So we want to focus more on pulsating movements that kind of help you slowly stretch and then come in even more and then deeper into your stretch. So now since we did this, this is step 1. Step 2 is here. Then you can come in and hold, breathe through, inhaling, exhaling, come in here, stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up into the other side. Right palm down, left palm up. Hold here first. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Step 2, coming down lower. Let's go. Breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As much as you want. And back down and up and in onto your knees, gently down here. So knees below your hips, wrist below your shoulders. We will slowly stretch the hips to the side, into the other side. So wider the knees, you want to open up your knees a little wide. Go side, open up the hips, to the other side, open up the hips. Side, open up the hips, again to the other side, move the pelvis. Gently down to the floor. Slowly extend your hands into the front, up to the ceiling, slide, back bend, come back in, relax. Inhale, back up, slide extension, slide bend, back up in again, slowly. Inhale, up again, slide back bend, gently back down, do this a few times, slowly up, gently, and back down. Now let's go slowly up, twist to the other side and down, back up again, twist, open up the shoulders and chest and down, back up, movement in and out, twist and down. One more time, slowly hands up, gentle back bend, down to the floor. Whenever you're ready, coming back in to the middle. Now you'll extend the right leg back out, come in with your left leg. So you're going to bring your knee and your hip onto the same level, gently sitting down. Inhale, exhale, breathe through. Slowly leaning in, gently coming back up. Slowly leaning in, gently coming back up. Slowly, a few more times. Down and up, down all the way and back up. Slowly back down and back up. Switching sides. Right leg coming in, left leg going up. Gently, let's go. Coming down in, all the way back up. Slowly leaning in, opening up your hip just a little bit more. So you should feel this mainly on this line over here of the pelvis. Gently coming down, maybe even on your hamstrings. Slowly down, a little bit on your inner thighs and back up. A few more times till you feel a nice and comfort coming up and going down. Gently. And whenever you're ready, stay here itself. You're going to come in and go back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Gently coming up. Now slowly grab and hold. You can count to 15 in your head. Now whenever you're ready, slowly drop the elbow down to your knee. You should be able to feel like a nice stretch coming in, even a little bit over here onto your waistline and hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up. Hold. Again, you may count to 15. Slowly back down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up. Into the middle again. Slowly relax. Unlock that knee. Bring it back in. Let's do the other side. Take the other leg outside. Bring the knee in. And hold. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently hold. Sit up straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now your goal is going to be to bring your elbow down to your knee. Hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly back up whenever you're ready. Now whenever you're ready again, we will gently try and come down slowly, even a little bit more. Bring your palm down in to the side. Just stay here. So you're going to want to drop your elbows down. Now this is the stretch. Get comfortable, push your heel away from you. Get your elbow down, palm down. Hold it. Let's do 5 big deep breaths. Gently back up. Now twist the entire torso into the front. So you might have to sit in and also twist just a little bit in from your hips. Whenever you're ready, lean into the front. Bring both your hands down here and gently drop down. Now also, if your hamstrings are tight, this might be a little bit harder for you to do. But just stay aware of where the body is at. You can also do this pulsating movement. As I said, it's a flexibility drill, so the more you get your muscles to move in and out of the posture, the better it gets. gently back up whenever you're ready. Slowly take your hands up towards the ceiling. Take both your palms down towards your toes and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up and relax. Let's do the same thing onto the other side. Whenever you're ready, slowly coming back in to the middle again. Right leg in to the pelvis, left leg outside. Again, get nice and comfortable. If your knees are hurting, you might want to keep it a little bit bent, that's fine. If you want to keep them out straight, feel free to go as you feel. Slowly coming in. Again, heel pushing away from you, toes curling into your chest, elbow down to the floor, and then palms down in, close to your ankle. Let's stay there. Count till 15 in your own mind. Whenever you're ready, slowly come back up. Bring your palms into your toes and hold that there. Gently coming up, tilt your entire torso and upper body into the front, slowly relaxing the hips. Whenever you're ready, extend both your hands up to the ceiling and reach in for your toes. Hold this, drop your head down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And gently place both your hands to the side. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming back up. Now let's do more on the upper body focus, since our hamstrings will need some rest for now before we try again. Let's do a little bit more on the neck. Slowly coming in, rotating clockwise, anti-clockwise. Gently, very slowly. Take your chin in to the right side. Take your chin in to the left side. Again, one more time, left palm down to the floor and slowly right palm up to the ceiling. Into the side, you stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up, right palm down to the floor, left palm up to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up and you stretch, slowly back down. Now we try to bring our feet into the front, into a butterfly. Bring your palms into the front. Your pinky fingers is out straight. We will lean into the front, touch the pinky, come back up straight, in. Lean in, drop down, come back up and behind. Come into the front, down, up, behind, into the front, down, up, and behind. One more time, slowly into the front, down, up, and behind. Whenever you're ready, gently palms down to the side. Slowly twist from the upper body and the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up in, other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up in to the middle. Now moving in to our asana practice that we did so much of a warm-up for. Whenever you're ready, let's take the right leg out towards the side. Now you want to make sure your hip is onto the sit bone of the heel down, and into the pelvis here. You're going to lengthen the leg into the side and to the front. If you think you might have a knee injury, or if you think your knee is hurting too much because this may not be comfortable, you can bend it over here first as a beginning, as it start moving. Now, as we did before, you're going to come in nice and comfortable. Whenever you're ready, you're going to gently extend your palms down in. Even if you want to grab your leg, you can grab, or just relax down under your ankle. Now, as your heels are pushing away, your toes are curling in. That makes it a little bit closer. If your toes were here, it would be harder to touch. If your toes are nearer, it's easier to touch. So we're going to play around with the body just a little bit. Now, whenever you're ready, palms are tucked down in so they can't move. Get nice and comfortable here. Now, you want to make sure you're not squeezing and hunching your chest in. You're rotating the chest out, nice and proud, open up. Now the goal is going to be to come lower and down and not to twist and touch. So you're going to come in here. Now once this movement becomes easier, this is not a big deal. Yeah. So whenever you're ready, you're going to come down low and nice and easy to the floor. Whenever you're ready, you're going to try and grab the hand first. Now once you touch, this seems nice. Now you're going to take the head through and through and hold. So you see how far you've come from when we started? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently let go of the upper hand first. Slowly come back down. Gently relax. Then you may come in and move the body more. If I want to bring this leg in, bastare, let's try the other side. Let's see how the other side did. Yeah, now this side did great. Let's see how the other side did. Slowly back up and outside. Now mind you, if you have a ligament tear like I do on this leg, you're going to soften the leg, which is going to make it much more easier to come into the bend, because now you lengthen, the length of the leg has become less, so it's easier to bring your hand down. Yeah, just logic. So take the leg into the side. Again, see what feels comfortable. Lean in and down. Now your goal is going to be, as I said, lean in and down. Yeah, so hold this here. Whenever you're ready and comfortable. Or so you're going to then play around with the hand that is free, which is your right hand. Gently taking in and trying to reach down. So I feel a little stuck here. But what I'm going to try is I'm going to get the toe first. If this feels okay, that you can stay here. And then gently scoot and open up the head. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up. Slowly relax. Now there is another practice that you can do. I will show you on the knee that feels better. I'm going to come back in. And we can also try it, instead of touching the toes, we can touch the wrist instead. Okay, so this is the last variation. So what you're going to do is you're going to come back into your asana again. Touch your toe, take your hand up. Now instead of touching your toe, you're going to try and come in and clench onto your wrist. So yeah, only hold it here, gently up in to the side and hold your wrist instead. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently back up and relax. So that was way more easier than it would have been to touch the floor. Now you want to make sure of two things. If you have cervical problems, spondylitis and slip disc issues, you want to avoid this stretch because it's a little bit too intense on your shoulders and your shoulder blades. This is also a lot of leaning in and out of the neck. So if you have cervical problems, please avoid this asana or try a variation. As long as you're not pushing yourself too much, try a variation to this asana. You can just keep your hands next to your knees also, and that's also valid and very much counted. So this was our asana practice for today. This was our hand to toe touch, and I hope you enjoyed this flexibility asana and stretch, and I will see you again tomorrow with another episode. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day ahead.